Hi, welcome to Tuesday's Pick a Card reading. This reading is going to be about whether you should stay in a relationship or leave the relationship, okay? So the title is Should I Stay or Should I Go, right? The reading for today is inspired by a comment that was left by one of my viewers that actually asked a little bit more specifically, should I move on or should I wait? Okay, so this is going to apply to both situations where whether or not you need to stay in the relationship, stick with it, tough it out, and maybe it's going to become something, or you know what, this is just not working for you guys. You're going to need to move on. Okay, so that's what we're going to be focusing on. Okay, there's the same amount of cards in every single one of these piles, okay, but I have made sure that there is a lot of information. So this might be a little bit longer than my usual videos, and I do have a deck for clarification, okay? So I expect to go pretty deep into this topic for each one of you guys. I decided to go, I just want to kind of explain myself here because I know that this is a really important topic, okay, in relationships when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I take this question very seriously because I know that even though you guys have the free will to do whatever you guys want, some people might be making decisions based on what I'm going to tell you guys, okay? And I want to make sure that I'm as clear as possible, okay? So I've put out some spring colors because that's what I felt led to do, okay? And so our pile number 1 is the purple stone, okay? Our pile number 2 is yellow stone, and our pile number 3 is green stone, okay? And I just picked them because I felt like it went with the spring, okay? And we've got some card decks that I don't usually use as often, but every single one of them are designed to make sure that you guys get the clearest answer possible. Okay, so while you guys are picking either number 1, the purple, number 2, the yellow, or number 3, the green, I just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know anything that you want to know about me is in the description down below. And if it's not there, then go ahead and send me an email. My email is momentsare.yt@gmail.com. Okay, I want to go ahead and say thank you so much to all the wonderful viewers and subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. I love the feedback. Keep them coming. And if you have a question that you'd like featured in a pick a card reading, go ahead and ask it, okay? Because, I'm doing this for one of my viewers. So go ahead and leave a comment. Tell me what you'd like to know, and I'll try to go ahead and work that out for you. Okay? So, at this point, hopefully you guys have picked the pile that you want. If not, go ahead and pause the video and take a moment to decide on your final decision. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and start with pile number 1, the purple stone, okay? Alright, guys. Those of you who picked the purple stone, I've noticed that in relationships, there's kind of like a story that comes about when we're talking about our relationships. So I purposefully used this particular deck, which is oh gosh, I can't remember the name of it, but it's a fairy tale deck, okay? So each one of these cards is going to represent a fairy tale, right? So what your story is right now is the princess who never smiled. Your relationship right now is in a healing stage right now, okay? So what I'm getting from this is that you're pretty down about this situation, and you just really want... It's almost like you want a reason to hope. And I think a part of you knows that there's still so much potential in this situation. And I think that that's another reason why you're probably even watching this, because you know that there's that potential. But healing's at play right here, okay? So let's go ahead and get to these cards, which I wanted to read next, which are Fairy Tarot. This is based on a traditional deck. It doesn't have traditional pictures, but it is based on a traditional deck. and you've got 2 winter cards, okay? Winter is the same as swords, okay? You've got the Ace of Winter, okay? This is what it looks like, so you can see it. I'm going to go ahead and read the message on the bottom, and then talk about what this means. Don't be deterred by challenges along the way. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately. Amazing new ideas that should be implemented. This is about, obviously, because it's an ace, it's about a new beginning. It's about doing something new, right? And we know that the swords, those of us who are familiar with tarot know that the swords aren't about the heart. It's not about money, not about the heart. It's not even about taking action. It's about what's going on in your mind, okay? So this can speak to new perspectives, kind of like shifting in your consciousness to going from a place where maybe a place of not knowing to a place of knowing, or it can go from a place of knowing to a place of not knowing. It can be as simple as something where you're kind of stuck in this cyclical thinking and then you get out of it, or it might be that you're out of cyclical thinking and you're about to get stuck in it. It's just new, okay? And so in this particular reading, what we've got is a lot of focus on the head right now. What that tells me, especially since this is also a winter card, therefore a sword card, is that the heart in this situation is really, it's so, there's so much pain there, okay, that in order to solve this situation, from your perspective, you've got to get into that headspace. And I know that that headspace can sometimes be a little scary, because in the headspace, you're prone to start overthinking, right? But right now is whenever you're watching this video, whether you're watching it the day that it went up or you're watching it some other time, right now is a time where it's okay to get in that headspace, and overthinking isn't going to be a problem. We've got the Nine of Winter, though, which is the equivalent of the Nine of Swords. It's a worrying card, okay? However, like this card points out, the fear is unfounded, okay? 9 is always a completion card, okay? So you've got a new beginning and a completion, right? And it's also wish fulfillment, okay? The imagery that the Nine of Swords has always brought up to me is waking from a nightmare. Okay, and when we look at the picture, whether it's this deck or a traditional deck, and I believe that the traditional deck is a lot more scary than this one, but when we wake up and our heart's racing and we've had this horrible nightmare or a night terror, and we are reorienting ourselves to the world, it can be really, really scary. So I think that, yes, there is some scary stuff going on inside of you, and I think that there is some focusing on the worst case scenario, and kind of letting worry get out of proportion. Maybe you're struggling with an anxiety problem even, or a panic disorder, and maybe that is being made worse by the situation right now, because you're in this kind of suspended place where you don't really know what's going on in your relationship. However, this card also says that, you know what, it's not as bad as it seemed. You're not in that nightmare. That nightmare isn't real. That's not happening. That's your imagination. That's not what's true, okay? It's not true. Whatever you're dreaming up inside of you, whatever you're worried about, whatever you're anxious about, that's not the reality. That's the worst thing that you can think of. That is the worst case scenario, okay? It is so much better than what you're thinking right now, okay? That's what this card means, okay? So if you are sitting thinking, gosh, this is a situation that really feels like it could be really bad if I stay here, you know, then just know that it's not as bad as you think. And I feel like I have to put a disclaimer on this, just because I know how sensitive this material is. If you are in a situation where there could be harm done to yourself or to another person, get out of the situation right now, okay? Because that isn't what this reading's about. This is about whether or not you should stay or go in a regular healthy relationship, okay? And I know that not all relationships are perfectly healthy. I know that they all have challenges, but this isn't about a situation where there's any kind of abuse going on, and I mean verbal, emotional, physical, sexual abuse, anything like that, get out of that situation, okay? This reading is not about that. This reading is about different kind of relationship than that, okay? This is like, am I wasting my time or not, okay? But getting back to the reading, it's not as bad as you think it is, okay? And I apologize to viewers that had to hear that, but I take this very, very seriously. So, let's go ahead and look at these, what these cards have to say. And if we need more clarification, we'll go ahead and pick that before we go to the Lenormand at the very end, okay? So, interesting. We've got healing right here. We've got, it's not as bad as what you think, maybe you're anxious, maybe your mental health is suffering a little bit, but it's actually not as bad. And then you've got this card. It's the improving health card, okay? This is a healthier situation than you think it is, all right? You've got this card that's telling you this is improving, okay? It might not seem like it, but it is improving. You've got this healing card, so that's a confirmation that this is on track, okay? And then you've got no need to worry. Oh my gosh, look at that. I didn't even read that before. I mean, I just saw it, but I didn't read it before because I was thinking like, oh my gosh, health and healing. Wow, that's great. No need to worry. How perfect is that we've got the Nine of Winter, the Nine of Swords here, and we've got no need to worry. Okay, so far it's looking like you're in a situation where it feels really bleak. It feels like things aren't going to get better, but it is going to get better. You're in a situation right now where whatever's going on that's not syncing up, that's not feeling natural, that's not basically working for you and this other person, it's healing right now. It will be better. It will be better. There's no need to worry. Okay, there might be a need to wait though. Okay, if you want this to happen, if you want to be in this, you might need to wait. But there's no need to worry about it. Okay, let's go ahead and see what the romance angels say. Getting to know each other. Okay, getting to know each other comes up when in a relationship, there's been a disconnect. Sometimes it can come up when there isn't as much communication as there needs to be, and sometimes it can come up to kind of warn us not to rush too far into things. Okay, so and there is no judgment. Everybody has their own pacing when it comes to relationships, but I'm just using this as an example, okay? And just understand that for some people this is fast, and for other people it's not fast at all. But getting to know each other might come up in a situation where somebody has met somebody online, they've got a really hot picture, and they're like, oh, I'm so excited to go on this date. They go on a date, they get a few bites to eat, they're like, let's skip dessert and go to your place. They get to know each other physically several times, and then, wow, it's 3 days later, and what's going on, right? Getting to know each other comes up when people rush into things like that. Okay, it comes up as a whoa. Okay, hold on. We gotta pull back here. We've got to get to know each other first. Let's build that foundation. And maybe your foundation. I mean, seriously, because I'm open to this. I understand it might not work for me personally. It might not work for most of my viewers. But I know some people. It's like, well, as long as the sex is good, everything else will fall into place. That's great. So I mean, I really want to make sure that I'm honoring that, okay? I get it. But getting to know each other is like, there's this concept in personality psychology of introversion and extroversion, and some theorists that say that we all have a capacity to be extroverted and a capacity to be introverted, but there's a preference there, right? An introvert is someone who gets more energy by being by themselves, kind of going in within themselves and reflecting, and they're able to feel okay sitting alone, all right? And an extrovert is somebody who gets energy from being around other people, right? Getting to know each other is about taking that introverted energy in your life, okay? That introverted part of yourself that you only share with yourself, that reflection, the ideas that you get that you don't share with anybody else, and sharing that with your other person, with that person that you have, you want to be in a relationship with, and it And falling in love is all about that other person sharing their introverted part with you. That's what that is. So when you've got two people that are sharing their private introverted lives with one another, okay? That's what getting to know you is about. That's what brings that love energy, okay? So I just wanted to talk about that. And then we've got free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. Now, if I had just gotten this card and I had gotten different cards here, then I might say, oh, maybe you need to go, right? Maybe this isn't worth waiting for. But because we have no need to worry and the Nine of Winter, which both talk about anxiety, free yourself, look at this. We've got this beautiful unicorn, okay? And I understand that might be a little cheesy for some of you, but we've got this beautiful unicorn. They're stuck in this. And what happens to us when we overthink and we've got those nightmares? We are stuck in our thoughts. We think that that's what our reality is, and that is never our reality. This unicorn could jump over that fence anytime they want to, all right? Just like you can wake up from this nightmare anytime you want to. There's no need to worry. Free yourself from that anxiety. And believe me, I know it's easier said than done. In fact, I'll go ahead and let you guys know. And this is for public consumption. Anybody can watch this, okay? I take medicine so that I won't be anxious, okay? I take medication for anxiety. So I understand that when one is worrying, when one is in their thoughts so much like that, it is so hard to free yourself from that. And sometimes you do need that help. You need therapy or you need medication or whatever. But it's safe, okay? You don't have to worry about the situation. It's taking care of itself, okay? And while I can go ahead and give you words of reassurance and say, oh yeah, things are going to be improving. You're in the healing period. While I can say, oh, something new is coming. You're going to get some new ideas and all of that. And oh, let's focus on getting to know each other. I don't feel like that's enough to answer your question about whether or not you should stay with the relationship or you should leave the relationship. So let's go ahead. Even though this looks like, yeah, you should stay, let's go ahead and ask for some clarifying cards, okay, guys? And this time I'm not doing any jumping cards unless they really jump, okay? This time I'm just gonna do a shuffling method that I use personally to get the clearest readings for myself, and I'm gonna find out what this situation is, okay? Everybody has a favorite number, right? Okay, or maybe, you guys might know a bit about numerology and know your numerology number, right? It's based on your birthday. And everybody has, that place where, it's like, oh, I'm going to always, let's say, bet on this one number. Or, somebody asks you what your favorite number and it comes up, right? Well, guess what? My favorite card is a Hermit card. That's number 9. Number 9 is my favorite number to shuffle cards with. Okay, so it's my special number. So when I shuffle for my private reads, I usually ask my private reads, hey, is there a number you've been seeing lately? Because that can kind of get the cards to be tuned into that person, right? Or I'll just ask them for their birthday and do the numerology number. It's just something to personalize the deck for them. When I want to be as clear as possible, I just go ahead and shuffle 9 times. So count with me now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, those jumped. Those definitely jumped. Okay, 9. Let's go ahead and look. Let's save these for later. Let's go ahead and look at the first 2. Success, the 6 of stars, and stability. Yes, this is something where you should definitely stay. Success, you are going to be successful in this, okay? The star cards are, now this is not a traditional tarot deck and it should not be read as one, okay? But the 6 of stars is equivalent to the 6 of wands, okay? In this deck, it means success. It means you are going to be successful in this situation. Yes, you need to stay in the situation. If you want this, stay in this relationship. It's going to work. If if you're not so sure, if you're like, I don't know if I can, I don't know if this is what I want, then get out of it, okay? Because, seriously, the cards might say, you know what, yeah, you're just going to be able to work out, but maybe you don't want to wait. Well, then go ahead and get out of it, because, seriously, you don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste your time on something, but if you feel like it's worth waiting for, then you will be successful. This will be stable. Okay, the Nine of Hearts, this is the same as the Nine of Cups. Yeah, this is going to be a very stable situation. This will get to that point. You guys just got to get to know each other a little bit better. Bring some love energy into it. Try not to worry so much, okay? And then these are the cards I set aside that jumped. And I just wanted to go ahead. Oh, Emergence. Awakening. Okay, emergence. So yeah, something new is going to come up. You're going to wake up to these new ideas. This also represents the third eye, so pay attention to those dreams. I understand you've got not nightmares, right? Don't pay attention to the nightmares. Pay attention to the dreams. Pay attention to what's going on around you. You're going to be having some coincidences going on, and you're going to be having some reinforcement like from within, okay? Like just something's gonna click, and you're gonna be like, that's it, and it might have to do with this relationship, or it might have to do with just some other problem that's going on in your life. That is just giving you that clue that you're on the right track, okay? That's what that's about. And look at this, the Two of Angels, balance. Yeah, balance, stability. No need to worry. You're gonna be fine, okay? Healing. You're going to be fine. This relationship will absolutely work out if you decide to stay. However, there is going to be a waiting period, okay? There is going to be definitely a waiting period. And I wouldn't... It's funny because I just realized that I put out all of these colors, and I know that this isn't going to be the same for everybody. For all three reads, but in this case, I actually think this is going to come around in the spring. It's October right now, and I think of the spring as starting in March, so March or April. So let's go ahead and count on our fingers. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, 6 months, okay? 5 to 6 months from now. If that's too long, get out of it, okay? But if you feel like it's worth it, it will be okay. So 6 months from now, for those of you who are watching this, the month that went up, that's going to put you in March or April. If you're watching this and it's not October 9th, all right, then it's going to be 5 to 6 months from whenever you are watching this, okay? And let's go ahead and look at these Lenormand cards, because I can also really get some pretty serious answers here. Oh, that's wonderful. There is going to be a change, okay? And it's going to be a big gift to you, a big gift, okay? And you're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine. The Lenormand cards just confirm what I've been telling you. There's going to be a change. This is also, you're going to wake up, right? There's going to be a change. It's going to be a really nice gift, okay? So the cards that you got were the Coffin and the Bouquet, all right? In the context of this reading, this is change. It's going to bring you the gift that you were looking for, okay? So, yeah, you're going to be fine, okay? Stick it out. It will be worth it if you stick it out. If you don't want to stick it out, if you're like, no way am I going to wait 5 to 6 more months, then get out of it, okay? You can, you got to do what you got to do, all right? But for those of you who are going to go ahead and stick with it, you will find that you're very successful in this situation, and you will enjoy a stable relationship with this person. All right? All right, guys, I just finished up with the purple pile, and we're moving on to the yellow pile, okay? And I'm going to reveal these cards in the same way that I revealed the cards to the first pile. And it's something that I can't remember if I said it at the very beginning or if I just said it when I started the purple pile, so I'm going to just say at the beginning of each one of these, is that I put enough cards in here that we're going to be able to look pretty deep into this situation. And I take this very seriously, because I know that some people are going to might be making some pretty big decisions based on what I say, okay? And I don't want to steer you wrong. And I said this for the purple pile, I'm going to say it for the green pile too. If you're in a situation where you're in a risk of harm coming to you, physical harm, emotional, sexual, any kind of abuse, all right? Mental abuse, psychological abuse, anything like that to yourself or to anybody else involved, okay? Get out of the situation, okay? This isn't a reading that's about that. This is a reading about people that have been waiting around, trying to figure out, is this going to go somewhere or not, okay? This is about people who are in a relatively healthy situation, and I understand not all relationships are healthy, or 100%. Every relationship has its challenge, but this is definitely not a situation that anybody needs to base whether or not they should stay in an abusive situation over, okay? This is a situation where maybe you're not getting contact regularly, or maybe the person's running hot and cold, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to say that's a disclaimer, okay? I don't feel right not saying that, because I take this seriously again, okay? Excuse me. So the very first card I want to talk to you guys about is, this is from a fairy tale oracle deck. And I've noticed that every relationship kind of has its own story. And so I'm hoping that by looking at this card, we can kind of get a read on where is the story going, all right? And we've got Bluebeard, which is the keyword for this is taboos, okay? So what I'm getting from this, the number 17, in case that's important to you, that might be like a date maybe that's important to you or something. This is a situation where I'm getting that you guys have taken some risks. There's some risky things that are going on in a situation, not necessarily dangerous, although risks are associated with danger, but the risks are more like maybe against what most people might do or say or think is okay, all right? So just kind of take with that what you will. So, for example, some people might have a problem with somebody dating someone who's married, right? This might be a situation where you're asking this question because you're involved with somebody who's in another relationship and you're wondering, are they gonna bring it, or should I just leave the situation altogether and find someone else, right? That's the kind of thing that I'm talking about, but I'm not saying that all of you are in that situation. That's just to kind of give an example of that. Okay, we're gonna start out. Oh, also, for any more information about this particular card and what it means, go ahead and read the Fairy Tale Bluebeard, okay? So you might get more guidance from that. Just gonna throw that out there. These cards, they're fairy tarot cards by Doreen Virtue, and you guys have got some. You've got two cards, and they're both in the Pentacles suit, okay? You've got the 6 of Autumn and the 5 of Autumn, okay? The 5 of Autumn is about reaching to others for assistance and feeling a little stuck with money issues, okay? We're not talking about your financial situation right now. We're talking about whether or not you should stay in this relationship, okay? What this card tells me, when it comes to materials and resources, you guys need each other, okay? You guys do better when you lean on each other, okay? So this is just confirming that, you know, there's this energy about this relationship between the two of you where if you're able to reach out for help from the other person will always be there. They'll always be there to give some kind of reassurance. And maybe you're tuning in because you aren't getting that, and normally that's what you get. But here's some good news. The 6 of Autumn is also what you've gotten. So it's like 5, 6 right here, okay? And what this means is the good you do comes back to you, an unexpected inflow of money, borrowing wisely or repaying a debt. Okay, so the way that I'm interpreting these in the context of a relationship is that right now, your person's not quite realizing what a great thing they have with you, okay? They aren't aware of how much relief that they can get, basically, from just different struggles that they're going on in their life by reaching out to you, okay? Now, where they feel a little weak, and they don't realize that there's this place of strength in you. It's almost like they don't want to burden you with what's going on with them. But at the same time, I am not getting at all that this person doesn't want to be with you, or this person doesn't want to be around you. And the Six of Autumn would correspond to the Six of Coins. And in a traditional deck, you will see in the Six of Coins somebody giving coins to what appears to be maybe poor children or people who are in need, right? But they're keeping some for themselves too. It's balance, okay? This shows me that you and your relationship are going to reach a point where it's balanced. And, you know, this is about the material world, okay? So it's going to feel more natural. It's going to feel more equal. Like they're giving as much as you're giving to the relationship. So far this is positive, okay? But let's go ahead and see what these... I'm going to go ahead and do the angel answers first. And we're going to do the Lenormand last. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now. Okay. All right. You might want to think on some things. Meditation is going to be bringing you some answers in this. And I think that what that speaks to is that, yeah, you should stay, but there's going to be a little bit of a wait. And I can say that because I know what this card is, but I really want to focus on this one first. Okay. To make your decision, ultimately, use yourself as a guide, okay? You're your best answer to what to do in this situation. If it feels wrong, get out of it. If it feels wrong, then it is wrong. Get out of it. But if it feels like there's a part of you that's like, God, this is so right. There's something about this situation. It's like a magnet. I don't know what's going on, but there's just something about the situation I just can't let go of. There's something about it, and it's not like a needy let go. It's like your soul recognizes that there's something there. Then stick with it, because you know what? This is going to happen within the next few months, okay? To some of you guys, a few months isn't going to be, it's going to be like, nope, I need it to happen yesterday. I'm going to have to get out of this, okay? And that is perfectly fine. But for those of you who feel like this relationship is worth it, within the next few months, you will see some positive changes. You will see that this relationship will start going somewhere, and it will start feeling more natural. It's going to start feeling more stable. You're going to see that they're giving as much as you're giving, and that is the key to bringing this stuff about. I really believe that what's going on with your person is that they're just in a dark place, and they don't want to bring you down with that. Now, if you're watching this the day, the week, or the month that it went up, okay, let's count with this, okay? The next few months, that's maybe 3 or 4. Okay, we're in October, so that would be November, December, January, February. So that puts you right around Valentine's Day, okay? So sometime between January and February is the time frame for this. If you're watching this the week that it's going up, okay? Or if you're watching this in October. Otherwise, go ahead and count 3 to 4 months from where you're watching it now, because this is a timeless reading. If you're led to this reading, then you're supposed to be watching it, right? Within the next few months of the time that you're watching this, that's when things are going to start picking up, okay? And if that's not acceptable to you, then go ahead and get out of it, okay? You don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste your time with that situation, but no, it will be worth it if you do, okay? That's it, you know, and I'm not saying it will be worth it if you do waste your time. I'm just saying it will be worth it if you wait. It will be worth it if you stay, okay? And yeah, this is just, God, this is so important, I think, especially when there's that voice inside of us that tells us, no, this is right, I've got to fight for this, I've got to make this work somehow. Your feelings are real and worth exploring, okay? Sometimes we get romantic feelings, all right? And this with this card, if you can't see this card says romantic feelings, and that's what the message is your feelings are real and worth exploring. What you're feeling inside, with this person, this connection that you have with them, it's a real connection, okay? It's really, it's not just in your mind. No, you're not crazy. You're not strange. You're feeling a real heart connection with this person, a soul connection maybe. Some of you, it's a very strong soul connection, and this and that's a very real thing, okay? It's more real than you know. And the romantic feelings card isn't just speaking about you, it's also speaking about the other person, okay? So when you want to know how they're feeling, feel what you're feeling inside, because that's how they're feeling, okay? This is a connection that's very real, like I said, and it's also a connection where you are able to connect on that heart level, at least on that heart level, if not on the soul level, and all of the other levels that you know we have as human beings. Know that they feel the same way, okay? They're just handling this particular time differently than you would, and that's it, okay? And then we've got playfulness, okay? To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit fun to shine, okay? This is a situation where, you know, you've got to get back to that place where you guys first met and there was like maybe some flirty energy going on, or some innuendo maybe being said, or just that new kind of joyful, like you're a kid again, and it's like, oh my gosh, everything is just so, oh my gosh, the world is just so incredible, and this person exists, and this is great, and I just can't believe it. Get back into that frame of mind. If you can't summon that up right now, then just take 10 minutes a day and just think and imagine yourself in that frame of mind. It doesn't matter if you feel it or not. Just imagine yourself in that frame of mind within the next few months, okay? Just keep doing that, and you'll be able to bring a lot more playfulness to the situation, okay? So for those of you who are still in contact with your person, and are like, gosh, I don't know if I should stay or leave. I don't know if I should wait for this to happen or not. My advice to you is just know that they do feel very, very strongly for you. This is definitely a love connection, and they're just needing to deal with this period of time right now on their own. And it's a really powerful thing when somebody deals with something on their own and then they come to you on their own accord. It's their own conscious decision to make. We were talking about taboos earlier, okay? So this might be a non-traditional situation, okay? I'm not saying for all of you it is, but for some of you, and maybe even most of you, it is a non-traditional situation. And especially in situations that are a little maybe counterculture, when it's so much more powerful when that person makes that decision themselves, and it means so much more, and they will make that decision to be with you, okay? And again, within the next few months. And this Lenormand, let's go ahead and see what you've got. All right, and this is what I love about these Lenormand cards. You've got them reinforcing here. Romantic feelings, okay? There is going to be communication. There is going to be some kind of message, all right? It might not come right away, but there's going to be some kind of message, some kind of love letter. They want to reach out to you. They want to communicate with you. This might be through social media. This might be like a text message. I'm not getting that it's like a spoken message, so I don't think it's going to be like a phone call or in person. It's more like a text message. They will reach out to you. And then you've got the child. You know, we've got playful. It's the child is playful. It's new energy. It's basically promising that there's going to be a better time. Remember how I told you to think about your childhood? Gosh, I just love how this came up. So you've got a new communication with them, or you've got communication that promises something new. You've got playful communication, all right? Or you've got communication that is a little flirty, okay? That's the way Lenormand reads, okay? It's very literal. It's more like hieroglyphics. It's not symbolic. It's more literal. So you guys, I don't think there needs to be any clarifiers for this. It looks pretty solid. You guys are going through a rough patch, and I'm so sorry for that. And I know what that feels like, okay? I've been through rough patches with the person that I'm with right now. And they're, I actually disclosed some personal information about myself with the last group, but there have been times with the person that I'm with right now where I didn't think that we were going to make it. I actually felt like there wasn't a chance that we would make it. And you know what? I was wrong. Okay? And the whole time I had that feeling in my heart that, there is something still worth fighting for, even though all of this stuff that seemed to be like so much more logical and all of that. And I am a logical person. Like I am definitely more a thinking type than a feeling type, right? But I just kept coming back to that, I guess, conviction inside of me that no, there's something very special about this connection. And I was right. And we're together. And we recently bought a new house, and he takes care of me, and it's great, okay? I'm not telling you that you guys are going to buy a new house, but I am telling you that this is worth waiting for if that's your choice, okay? If you can wait a few months for this to improve, then go ahead, because it will be worth it, and things will turn around. It'll get more balanced, okay? All right, green pile. Those of you who picked number 3, or the green stone, I just wanted to go ahead and give a disclaimer, and I said this to the purple pile and the yellow pile, so you guys aren't the only people that are hearing this. If you are in a situation where there is potential of harm coming to yourself or anybody else in the situation, okay, you need to get out of the situation, all right? I'm not doing this reading for people who are in abusive situations. This isn't about somebody, 2 people in a relationship and, gosh, should I stay with this person who might be hitting you or might be abusing you emotionally, mentally, sexually, psychologically. This is not what I'm talking about. This is about 2 people who are in a relationship, maybe going through a rough spot, in a situation that might seem like, gosh, it's impossible that it's going to get there, or just wondering, like, is this worth waiting for or not? Because, like, seriously, I don't know. I mean, I don't have I don't have my whole life to wait for this person. I want to make a life with this person. So seriously, if you've stumbled upon this video and you're in an abusive situation, this video isn't for you. You need to get out of that situation. This is more serious than anything that I can help you with, okay? But for those of you, most of you who are watching this, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for the first 2, I started with this card, okay? And this is from a fairy tale deck, okay? It's got kind of creepy artwork, okay? So I apologize if you find it creepy. I actually think it's really beautiful, so maybe some of you will be... will agree with me. But I've noticed that a lot of relationships kind of have their own story. And I'm hoping that by looking at these different fairy tales, we can kind of figure out, well, what's the next step in your story, okay? And we've got the little match girl, okay? Now this is a very dark story, okay? And if you guys want to know more about your situation, go ahead and look this up and read it. It's very dark, but we've got a lot of other cards to go through. In this particular deck, this isn't necessarily about the whole story. This is about the power of choice, okay? You have a choice right now. You can choose to stay or you can choose to go. And by looking at these things, we are going to empower you with the information for you to make the best choice that you can make, okay? There's something else I want to say about this, but I'm not going to say it until we get into this, and I won't forget, okay, because it's really striking me, okay? So next up, we're going to go with the Fairy Tarot. This is based on a regular tarot deck, and you've got 2 7s, okay? You've got the 7 of Autumn and the 7 of Spring, okay? And, these are a little bit conflicting, but I hope that I will be able to explain this as best as possible. Okay, the 7 of Autumn. Have patience and don't worry. Take time to rest and plan your next steps. And the last is a prudent investment of time or money. Okay, you've invested in this relationship, right? That's part of the reason why you're still here. That's part of the reason why you're like, oh, gosh, should I stay? I mean, I've put so much of myself into this situation. This is saying, have patience. Oh my gosh, I know you've had patience, right? You've been waiting this whole time. You're at a point where you're like, gosh, should I stay or should I leave? Because, like, seriously, is this ever going to happen? And then you're saying, like, and you're telling me to have more patience? Unfortunately, yeah, I am. Seven of Autumn says have patience, but it also says don't worry, because there is some kind of return on this investment that you've made. Then you've got the Seven of Spring. Be assertive. Don't back down from what you believe. Courageously stand up for yourself. What this means in this particular reading is you've got your head and your heart, and then you've got your own convictions. You've got your beliefs, okay? And the beliefs are a mix between what your thoughts and your emotions. What do you believe about the situation? And that's what this card's asking. That's what this card's asking you to face and to be assertive about. What do you believe about this situation? Is this a situation that you believe is going to go somewhere? And do you believe that both with your head and your heart? Or is this a situation where you don't believe it's going to go anywhere? Whatever it is where you believe, that is the appropriate choice. But this reading also says, hey, if you have patience, so this will help. This will happen. Okay. So I think that this choice you're going to make is more about, do I want to wait or do I want to move on? Okay. And how much do I believe in the situation? Some of you guys aren't going to be able to answer that question right away, and that's okay. It's going to take some contemplation to get on the same page with your head and your heart. And I understand that that's very, very difficult, especially when you've got your heart recognizing this kind of ethereal, abstract, I guess, facet of the relationship. And then you've got your head just like, here's the facts, and here's what I'm seeing, and here's what's right in front of me. And, and sometimes those things really don't line up. But I believe that the key to this, and this is what I was going to say that I'm getting back to, is in the little match girl, she's remembering in her, in the story, throughout the story, she remembers all of this stuff, and she thinks about different experiences that she's had that are very beautiful. And I think that your answer for, as you're waiting and having patience, it is asking you to have just a little bit more patience. I think your answer is in, what do you already know about this situation? What have you shared with this person so far? What are your memories of this person? Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they mostly positive? Are they mostly negative? That kind of thing. And which memories feel the heaviest to you? Which memories just hold that weight? And when you reflect on that, that will get your heart and your mind aligned, okay? So that's what you need to do. We still have a lot of information here that we haven't looked at yet, though. So let's go ahead and look at the angel answers. Okay, so let's remind ourselves of what the question is. Okay, now I've titled this, should I stay or should I go? But the original question was, should I move on or should I wait, right? This says yes. Yes, you should wait. Yes. Yes, you should wait. Because this is going to be balancing out, okay? And just in case, like, well, wait a minute. Maybe it said yes to should I move on, right? This card just kind of affirms that, no, this is a peaceful resolution. There's going to be peace between you and this person, and it's positive, and it's definitely on a heart level. Again, you have that choice. You are very powerful in this situation. You can make the choice to stay or go, right? But this is saying, have patience. Don't worry. The investment that you've made of your time, your heart, your energy is going to pay off. Yes, you guys, will be together, and it is worth the wait. It will come to a peaceful resolution. But hey, you've got to believe it, right? You've got to believe it, and you've got to make the choice yourself. You've got to make the choice. If you don't want to wait, then you've got to get out of this situation, all right? And then, for these, we've got separation. So time apart, that's what's going on right now. You guys are feeling more distant from each other. You're feeling like this stuff isn't just not working the way that it's supposed to. It's just is not what you envisioned for the two of you, right? So the separation is confirming where you are right now, okay? Extend your lighthearted energy to others. You've got flirt, okay? So there's two ways of interpreting this, and I want to make sure that I'm very clear on the fact that both ways are the right way in the situation. That might sound crazy, but it is. You can choose to use this flirt card to either start flirting with your person, you know, be a little bit more playful, try to bring that lightened energy around, like when you first got together and there was these like fireworks and this feeling that like, oh my gosh, this could really be something. You know, you can bring that energy to your relationship, and that can start healing the relationship. And I understand some of you guys are out of contact with each other, and that's just not possible. And if that's your case, then obviously that's not the way to go. But there's something that, I mean, and it's been tested before too. So it's like, this actually happens, okay? When you are like focused on one person, even if they're not in the room with you, not in the same country with you, okay, not even on the same planet as you, right? They can feel that somehow, okay? They can feel that you've got your focus right on them. You're locked onto them. And it can sometimes feel a little intrusive, even if the person likes it. Even if the person likes the idea, it can sometimes feel a little intrusive. The person that I'm with right now, that I've been with for almost 15 years now, sometimes I know that he is thinking about me, and oh my gosh, I'm like, I just want, oh, golly, back off, right? Because sometimes I just have those moments where I just want to, like, have me time. And that might be difficult for any of the viewers that are looking at this situation to imagine, but I'm using that to express that as we focus in on somebody, they can feel it. Just like they can feel the absence of that feeling, okay? And in the exact same situation, when my person comes into the room and starts focusing on me, I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, what do you want? What do you want? I'm reading, you know, because I love reading books, right? Or the person could come into the room, look at me, be like, she's reading, and leave. And it's like, hey, wait, did you want to talk to me? You know, right? Because that's how it works, right? This could mean, for some of you guys, you know, hey, start flirting with some other people. Doesn't mean that you have to get together with someone, okay? It just means put your focus on another person. Maybe that person wouldn't be somebody that you'd normally be in a partnership with or in a relationship with. Maybe just a friend, you know, maybe it's just being lighthearted with a friend. Basically, put your conscious energy into another person, even if it's yourself, and they'll feel that lack there. You will be creating a void for that person to fill, okay? You'll notice when people are in a conversation and they're really interested in each other, they're leaning in, right? And you'll notice that if they're in a conversation, they're leaning in. And let's say this person right here that I'm illustrating with my fingers, okay? This person right here, they hear something, they're like, huh? This person will lean in too, okay? They back off, and then this person wants to fill that void. They're like, hey, wait a minute, right? That's what I'm talking about here. This person right now feels you very close to them. Even if you're not physically close to them, and even if you haven't talked for a really long time, they feel that. And when you take that away from them, they're gonna feel almost panicked, all right? So this flirt card can go either way. Either flirt with them if you can, and if you can't, focus energy on someone else. We need some clarifiers before we go to the Lenormand, and I'm using the Lenormand in all three readings as a confirmation of what I'm telling you guys, all right? So whatever happens in this reading, the Lenormand should confirm what I'm saying to you guys. Okay, I should have said this before I started shuffling, but I'm not going to do any jumping cards this time because again, this is just way too serious a topic. I don't want you guys to waste your time. I don't want you guys to waste your energy. I don't want to tell you something that's not true. Not that all the other readings, you know, aren't serious. It's just that I have certain methods of reading the cards that are different for each situation. And I feel like this isn't just a general reading, even though I am talking to a group of people, okay? So yeah, it's a collective reading, and maybe not all of this stuff is going to resonate for everybody, but the general theme should resonate for everybody who picked this greenstone, right? And so the cards that I'm going to pick to clarify this, arguably the most important cards, right? They've got to be supercharged to make sure that we get as accurate a reading as possible, okay? This isn't just some general reading, okay? This is about how much time you need to spend on this person. We've seen, okay, yeah, you need to spend your time on this person. If you want to wait, if you still have that choice, if you want to wait for this person, yes, you'll come to a peaceful resolution. You'll be happy, okay? But we're going to go ahead and ask some clarifiers because for me, it hasn't been perfectly clear. So we want to figure out, well, is there something more to know here, okay? So we all have a favorite number, right? And those of you might be familiar with numerology, right? And so maybe you don't have a favorite number, but you know your numerology, or you know your birth date, and that's the number you always go to, or something like that, right? Well, I have a favorite card in the tarot, and it's the Hermit, okay? The Hermit is number 9 in the tarot. So my favorite number is number 9. So when I really want to get clear, accurate answers for myself, I shuffle the deck 9 times, okay? For others, I shuffle, when I have private reads, I ask somebody, I ask them, what's the number you've seen lately? Or I'll just go ahead and ask them for their birth date, or both. And I'll use the number that they've been seeing, or I'll just use their numerology number because I want the deck to be kind of charged with their energy. But in this situation, I want to make sure that this is the clearest it can be for me, okay? Because I am the spokesperson for whether or not you should stay in this relationship, right? And I want to tell you the truth here. So you guys can count with me. We're going to shuffle these 9 times, and then we're going to figure out what's going on. And if anything falls out as I'm shuffling, we'll make a decision on the spot about what to do with that, because sometimes it feels right and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one flipped over. Yeah, just one. I'm going to go ahead and pick that. Okay, 8, 9. Okay, we're going to get 2 clarifiers. I'm going to put this one aside here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Because I don't want you to think I switched it or anything. But we're going to be looking at these 2 cards for the clarifier, and then this one should clarify these. Okay. So, we've got the Divine Order, Equilibrium. Yeah, this is going to be balanced out. You've got 2 7s, and then you've got 11 here. So you've got like these mirroring numbers, right? The Divine Order, Equilibrium. This is going to balance out. Yes, this is worth waiting for, definitely. If you want to know, peaceful resolution, an equal resolution, definitely. This person is definitely worth waiting for. And then you've got the King of Stars, the Alchemist. You know what alchemists do? They use heat. They use fire to change a situation. The heat is a catalyst, right? So your person is going to serve as a catalyst to change the situation into something that's a little bit more balanced here with the equilibrium. You guys are going to have peace between the 2 of you, and what you believe is going to match up to what they do, okay? You're going to either believe in this person or you're not. Whether you believe or not, this person is still going to have a catalyst that's going to make them want to change the situation. So if you choose to leave, that's fine. But know that if you choose to leave, this person's still going to come towards you and be like, hey, I want this to work, right? So yes, you have choice, but this person's going to be coming at you either way. So kind of keep that in mind. So you're gonna either have to make the choice to say yes when they come towards you, or you're gonna have to make the choice to say no. And wow, this is so positive. You guys got the Lovers. That's what flipped over there. Golly, that's amazing. And of course the lovers in this card, you know, this isn't a traditional tarot deck. Is about union. Okay, you guys are gonna come together. Yeah. In fact, I think some of you guys that have the choice, you know, you might choose to leave. You might be like, nope, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna stay, and you'll end up changing your mind because this is a major arcana card. Whether you're gonna be in union, so. This feels very, very positive for me. Now, these Lenormand cards should be the kicker because this should confirm all the things that we've talked about. I just love how this works. This is so great. Okay, so yeah, you've got an obstacle in your way. You've got the mountain in your way, right? You've got this challenge. Every relationship has challenges, right? Yet you still have movement. You still have the alchemy coming. You still have this catalyst. You still have migration. You guys are gonna move. And these birds, they can fly over those mountains, okay? They might even live in the mountains, right? They might live on the trees that are growing around the mountains, right? They're gonna fly over those challenges, right? They're gonna move over those challenges, and they're gonna come back together. And this is also a card that speaks about couples too, because these birds mate for life. These cranes, and these birds are going to migrate together. They're both changing together. All right. So you guys are great. I wish I could tell you a time frame because I was able to tell a time frame to everybody else. Oh, gosh, I really wish I could. I don't think you guys are meant to know a time frame for this, though. I think that a lot of this has to do with trusting and the choice, having patience. I can tell you what it doesn't feel like. It doesn't feel like this is going to take a year, okay? It doesn't feel like this is going to take 9 months, okay? You're not going to be waiting 9 months for this to happen, okay? This is going to change quicker than that, okay? This could be as quick as a week from now, and it could be as quick as 8 months from now, but this is going to change, or turn around, it's going to change, it's going to be resolved, and everything's going to be okay between you guys. I think you guys are just in that group where some of you it's going to happen quicker than others, and that's why I can't give a solid time frame. I do want to mention, just because I'm looking at numbers right now, the little match girl, her number is 19. So that might mean something. That might be a date. That might mean something for you guys. The divine order is 11. The lovers are 6. You've got the mountain that's 12. Migration, which is 17. You know, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. I just can't give a specific date or a specific time or a month. You know, you've got 2 7s here as well. I can't do that because I really feel like this is going to move at different paces for everybody who's watching this. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yes, you guys are going to be totally, I mean, it's totally worth the wait, totally. Your investment will pay back, okay? But ultimately, it's your choice. And, I mean, if you do wait, though, it's so beautiful here. What you've got here with the lovers. This, I mean, I feel happy just looking at this, thinking about you guys, and so I would definitely tell you guys to. I mean, if it were me talking to a friend, a close friend of mine, I'd be like, stay in that relationship. Maybe you should, maybe date around, maybe flirt. I don't know. I still think you guys are gonna end up together, though. You know, that's what I tell my friend. So that's what I'm telling you guys. All right, thank you so much for staying to the end of my reading. I really take this reading seriously. I understand it's just some pick a card reading on YouTube, but some of the people watching this video might be in an abusive situation, and if you are, I really want you to get out of that situation. This reading is not about whether or not you should stay leave an abusive situation, because if you're in an abusive situation, the answer is always to leave. You have to be safe. You have to keep yourself safe. You have to keep the people involved safe, okay? But for the rest of you, the messages you got through the cards that you picked should help give you some clarity. I hope that it has. And as always, I appreciate any kind of feedback. Of course, I love the likes and the subscribes, but what I love more is honesty, okay? So go ahead and respond to me if you want. You can email me if you'd rather not make a public comment. And I wish you all the best in your relationships. And I really, really hope that I've brought clarity to your situation. Thank you so much.